Welcome to the Spirited Nerds podcast. Today, we have a full team. Hi, everyone.
Sean is back.
I know
we did not get our audio level straight.
I know I was here last time, but now I'm still just so pleased to be back. But yeah, we have the whole nerd crew tonight. We are live, which is fun and exciting. So you get to see if you're watching, you get to see everything unedited and live.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Shauna was at Decisions. I don't know why I thought this was the first
this
time.
is not her first. This is not her first time back.
We're already into the shenanigans. Yeah, I'm here. I'm here for it. Okay, so what are we talking about tonight? Well, I guess let's start as we normally do, which is forgetting that we normally start with our drinks. So, Denise, you were shimmying that cup around. What do you got?
Oh, I have nothing special. It's what is it? Mexican Coke, tequila, some salt, and a lime.
Nice.
I'm easy today.
No, that still sounds good.
It is very good, especially when you sprinkle the salt in and then it fizzes up some more. Like, it's perfect. It is perfect.
Can I tell a story about Mexican Coke?
Yes.
So if you don't know, I'm in San Diego. So my girls' daycare is right beside a Vons. So I went over to the Vons to get something for, I think it was like a Valentine's Day gift for the teachers. And I came back into their daycare and I was like, oh, they have Mexican Coke next door. And she went, what? I went, they have Mexican Coke next door. She was like, well, I was like, Coca-Cola, Mexican Coca-Cola. And she was like, okay. Oh, right. Okay. And I was like, oh my God. And she was like, I would have believed you anyway. And I was like, oh God.
She was trying to find out more details.
So basically, she confirmed to you that she thought your children were attending school next to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, anyways, that's my story about Mexican Coke. So if anybody listening is like, what is Denise talking about? It's Coca-Cola. It's bottled Mexican Coca-Cola.
Did I not say that? Did I say Mexican Coke?
Or she's just ripping a line and then taking a shot.
There you go.
My bad.
It's live.
Mexican Coca-Cola.
It'd be a lot more interesting show if she was.
Wouldn't it be?
It sure would. She would have the energy she's lacking tonight.
The energy of you're absolutely right. But I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop there.
All right.
Turn it back over to you.
Mariah, what are you doing?
So I didn't really get around to getting anything to drink, but Eric went on his lunch break because today is Friday. So I'm just sipping on Hennessy, which is not normal.
Why did you pronounce it? You enunciated it at the very end in such a weird way.
I heard something weird there when she said
Tennessee. You said Tennessee.
Well, I also say Toronto. I like to hit the
last
each
syllable.
letter.
You.
She likes vowels.
So you're just drinking straight Hennessy.
Yeah. There was no, like, you didn't get a chaser. Like, there's nothing even to mix this with. So this is what I'm stuck with.
You don't have ice. Is that room temperature?
Yeah, I'm about to say, I didn't even see any ice.
It is room temperature.
God damn.
That is tough.
So, yep.
Brian said, we can't about Black History Month. She got straight Hennessy, no ice.
Mariah ain't doing shit but listening to DMX after this. And not not good DMX, like 3 a.m. DMX.
That's what I said. Mariah's jumping off Black History Month early.
Yep.
David, why aren't you in the camera?
I don't know. I can see.
I can see you.
There you go.
Now.
My camera says I can still see me, so I thought I was still in frame.
Nah, you're off to the side.
I'm back. All
right. So David, what do you got?
So I overcorrected. I have received some notes from friends. They was basically saying that I wasn't trying on my drinks, and then I came across as a functional alcoholic. So I tried this time.
Nice.
Okay.
And I made a Boulevardier, which is bourbon, vermouth, Campari, and orange twist. It is fucking gross.
Sounds gross.
It slides into your mouth. It doesn't, like, I don't know if it's the Campari and the vermouth mixture, but there's nothing classy about it like the name says it's gonna be. Like the name says you're about to drink something good, and then it happens to you, and it's not.
It's just not.
Yeah, that's not great.
Ooh.
But it's the only drink I made. So
there's that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I've got Screwball whiskey with ice. So a step up from Mariah's situation, but this is good shit. This is peanut butter whiskey. It's nice. Oh, it's so smooth. It's like a Reese's peanut butter cup, but alcoholic. It's so good. I know there's not supposed to be chocolate notes, but that's what I got.
This is like somebody melted a tire and figured out how to make it a drink.
Ooh.
And then they added vermouth to it.
I feel bad for you.
Melted a tire.
Yeah.
It's terrible, but very visceral and a great description.
I mean, I could stop drinking it. So we're going to see.
Well, we know David made a bad choice. And what are we talking about tonight? We're talking about villains who maybe made bad choices, but had good intentions, just like our David.
You just turned me into a segue?
Yep.
Yes. David, you are now the segue.
All right.
More specifically, we're going to be talking about antagonists whose motives have moral or logical grounding. And we're going to be talking tonight about, even if their actions were extreme, uncalled for, over the top, murderous in some cases, whether or not they had valid reasons and it really did justify the ends.
Mm-hmm.
So we've each picked our own kind of antagonist or villain to support.
And very different.
Very different. Although David and Denise's were on my short list. So I'm excited.
I saw Mariah's, I saw Shauna's. I don't think I went back again and saw Denise's. So okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So we're ready.
We are ready.
So do we want to just go around the table
Yes, but we have a little presentation that each person needs to present when they're bringing up their villain and why they feel like their villain was justified in their actions.
Did I miss an email? Whoa.
Yeah.
Mariah, you absolutely did not, because you thumbs it up.
But it didn't say, one of the questions was not what justified their actions. That was not on that list.
Well, I mean, if you're bringing up your villain and you're saying they're right, you feel like they're justified in whatever they were doing, right?
You know what? I'm not even going to look. I'm going to stand 10 toes on it because I believe in my shit.
You know what?
What do I have to do?
What I'm hearing is Denise is volunteering to go first because
let us know how it's supposed to be done.
Yeah. That's what I heard.
So each of us,
when
we're presenting our villain, we need to present what their problem was they were trying to fix, what their goal was, like what were they thinking was going to happen with this problem, like what did they want to achieve with it, what means they took. So what were the means that they were taking to achieve whatever that goal was, and what were some consequences, unattended, attended, whatever, of what happened with them. So I feel like that will be the basis. I don't know if we can even think about who had the best problem they were trying to overachieve, who had the most creative way that they were trying to get to the means or anything like that. But each person should have problem, goal, means, consequences for their villain.
Got it.
Cool.
Okay.
So I guess if we're starting, I will start as an example. And I thought I was going to take the easy way, and I said I could do Cersei. And I was like, no, that's too easy. I've caped for her too long.
I really thought you were going to go Gollum.
Yeah.
I thought we were going to circle back to that again.
I knew for sure.
No, Gollum wasn't the route I was going to take, because his goal was pretty clear. I mean, there was nothing justifiable or like morally right about anything he was doing. He was just out here just wilding. I just like him as a character. He's just chaotic. I love that. And there was another person on my short list, if we talk about short list, and that was Grendel from Beowulf. So I was thinking about that character also. But the character that I ultimately decided on, because I've loved him ever since a child, I wanted to name my cat, him, everything. I've loved this character, is Shere Khan from the Jungle Book.
It's a great pick.
He was just trying to look out for his people. David, why are you laughing so hard?
No, oops.
Okay. So when we think about the problem that my Shere Khan was trying to solve, it's very clear. There was a child in his village that did not belong, or in his jungle, and that child did not belong. And he knew that when that child got older, he was going to bring chaos and destruction to the jungle with the red flower, and he had to go. It wasn't just for him that he was looking out for. He was looking out for everybody in the jungle. So he was like, hey, this kid has to go. To his point, I feel like everybody who looked at that child said the same thing, but their means and their goals to get him out of the jungle were way different. And I'll talk about that in a second, but I feel like that's where he lost people and went wrong. But the problem he had, I feel like everybody had the same problem. There's a child here who does not belong here, and he's going to fuck our shit up somehow, and he got to go. Right? Okay. So the goal is get this kid out.
When you say it like that,
Yeah.
Was the Jungle Book a story about colonialism and Shere Khan was like the rational one? Like, hey, maybe don't let this white stranger just...
I think maybe the book was, the Disney version is the one that I'm speaking of, and it was just like, there's a child here who's going to burn our village down, and he got to go.
It is in India.
Disney level.
Yeah, about to say.
Yeah. So
like, I've read it and I've seen the Disney movie, and just the way you explained it, I was like, this. It sounds like you were explaining colonialism, and then you were explaining the one black person there said, "Hey, this is a bad thing," or Indian person, and then, okay,
gotta go.
Yeah,
yep,
it's gotta go. So the goal is to get this kid out. The means is where, like I said, he started to lose everybody because his means was by any means necessary. And the means to him was, I'm going to hunt him. Literally, I'm going to hunt him down and I'm going to kill this child. So he was going to take him out very permanently, where everyone else had that same problem and that same goal, but their means was, we're going to return him back to the village where people are. Shere Khan is like, look, one less is beneficial to us. Why would you return him back to the village? Because he's going to grow up and he can come back again. In the meantime, let's just nix that now. Take him out. So that way he can't come back. Which again, I understand his reasoning. I understand his thought process. I understand all of it. So I feel like he was okay still right there. Unfortunately, he was just talking about murdering a child. And that's where he lost people. So that's where his consequences came in. Because everyone around him was like, we're not killing a child. He didn't see anything wrong with it. Clearly, the serpent who will try to eat him didn't see anything wrong with it, but everyone else did. So,
do you think it's crazy that they all said we're not going to kill a child, and then like 15 feet away, a hawk like grabbed a baby gopher and just flew off?
That's crazy.
This child got super special treatment. I mean, I'm agreeing with you. Shere Khan was right. That nigga, he had to go. I completely agree. I am seeing the Jungle Book with new eyes. This is crazy.
Look,
he had to go.
Look, I'm 100% Shere Khan made my short list. In my opinion, all animal quote unquote villains, free pass. People came into their house, they started fucking around, they took over.
I don't know about all of them.
Nope, pass. They're just being they're just being good little boys and girls.
Was Baloo a coon?
No. Anyway. I think another consequence is his anger just blinded him. His sheer I have to kill this thing blinded him. He could have just relaxed up a little bit and just like everybody else, just got the kid back to the village. I mean, again, in his eyes, one dead is one less, and that's fine with me. But I mean, to what end? Because again, everybody in the jungle is after you, except for the monkeys who saw Mowgli and was like, "We're going to use you because this very thing that Shere Khan is afraid of, I know you can bring it to us, so we're going to use you." Which, again, that was a whole nother thing, but. I feel like he was a villain who shouldn't have been a villain. I hated that he was a villain in that entire movie. So I was like, he's absolutely right. Y'all need to get this kid out of here. Again, the means of which he was doing it is where he went wrong. I guess.
How would you do it differently?
If I was Shere Khan,
Yeah.
I would have just. I think if he had just listened to reason to some of the other people, like Baloo and Bagheera, they were not so much Baloo, because I think Baloo would have kept him. Bagheera, he would have just taken him out. Like, we're going to return him back to the village. He'll be fine. He'll go to the village. You won't have to worry about him, hopefully. I think that's where he, again, didn't trust anybody in that instance. He was also kind of like an outsider. He was a loner, so he definitely didn't trust them. I don't know. I feel like he probably could have just trusted that they were going to return him to the village. But at the same time, he didn't like man. So he was like, why are we returning him to the men? Because he's just going to come older and then come back and get us.
Mhm.
The more I think about it, he was probably right. It's sad to say that he murdering Mowgli was the only way to go.
This is a classic like train problem. It's like you have two tracks. One has 5 people. One has 1 person. You're gonna mow down someone. Who do you choose?
I'm mowing down Mowgli. I'm leaving my animal friends on the track, and I'm diverting that train straight to Mowgli.
Let me ask you a
He's out
question.
here.
If they had done that and they took him back to the village and he had escaped the village, do you think Baloo would have turned him in?
Escape the village to come back?
Yeah. Do you think Baloo would have like looked out for the animals and like took him back?
No.
You think Baloo
That was
would
his
have
best bud. He just wanted to be lazy
Yeah,
with him and laze around all day and sing songs, and that was
Yeah.
his partner in crime. So no, he wouldn't have turned him back in.
Baloo is a good time bear. He's not about to get involved.
He's a good time bear. So yeah,
Okay.
I don't know.
You know what else I like about the Jungle Book? I'm gonna add. This is one of the very few examples of media where the wolves are not the bad guy. The wolves in the Jungle Book are Mowgli's family. They take them in, they raise them. It's all good with the wolves. Just most of the time, they are the evil villain. So
I can't believe you said that there are no bad animals.
Who said
no,
that?
there's only good animals who sometimes do bad things. Like cats. You can't tell me there's a cat alive who's not at least 25 to 40% asshole, but they're all good.
Orcas are dicks.
Orcas are awful.
Orcas are dicks who are temporarily on our side because they keep crashing all of these fishing boats and stuff.
See?
But to other animals,
like...
Yeah, to other animals, they are.
Oh yeah, no, they're assholes.
Yeah.
But at their hearts, they're good boys and girls. I mean, I get it. They're just being animals.
Dolphins.
hyenas in The Lion King, there was nothing good about them.
Dolphins are pretty aggressive.
True.
They did let him go. They did let Simba go. And they did at the end realize their own autonomy and take down Scar.
Real life dolphins
So
would
Scar.
have let Simba go.
Dolphins? Probably not, no. Dolphins.
Yeah.
Dolphins are like cats, though. You're like,
Fish are dicks. Like,
yeah, well, that's why I don't go in the ocean. Maybe we'll make it. I may amend my original statement to marine animals can be evil.
it's crazy that every marine animal smart enough to be an asshole is an asshole.
Yeah.
Speaking of animals, because I was really on an animal kick because I saw this other article. Another track I was going to go down was the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park, because I did see somebody say that they were unfairly the villains. The T-Rex, those raptors,
Oh yeah,
all of them.
yeah.
They didn't ask to be there.
That's what I'm
Yep.
saying about it. In almost every case, the animals didn't ask to be there. They didn't
No.
ask people to come and run over their shit and take their
Yeah.
homes and kill their families. Animals didn't ask for any of that. That's why I'm saying, like, they kind of get a pass from me.
Oh shit! Hold on.
Mhm.
I can do something right here. So that's a segue into mine.
Ooh.
Oh yeah,
Because-
what's yours?
All right.
People do suck, and so mine is Agent Smith from The Matrix.
Mm.
I'm loving this segue.
So if I have to use Denise's formula, the problem Agent Smith had was Neo jumped straight up his ass and turned him into a free thinker of sorts. He was already kind of corrupted. He was a program that was built to basically police the Matrix, but his system was a little funky, and he could think for himself just enough to try to categorize people. And when he tried to do that, he was like, oh, people are just fucking terrible. They're parasites. But his program wouldn't really allow him to get off like he wanted to. He meets Neo at the end of the first one. Neo go ahead, put foot to ass, and then basically frees him from any restriction that he had. And then he goes crazy. And when he goes crazy, he's like, okay, well, the Matrix is bad because it's basically just recycling the same program over and over and over again. I will continue to be a slave to this. People are bad because of everything Sean has just said. So he says, well, I'll make everything me. I'll get rid of all of that, and that will eliminate that problem. So that's what he went out to do.
Was he the weird one that was in Matrix? That was just hunting him down the whole time?
Yeah.
Okay.
But see, at first, yes.
What? I don't remember the Matrix. I can't remember the last time I've seen that movie.
So
He was the one with the-
so he's the one that like talks all weird. I mean, it's the same dude from like it's the same dude from Lord of the Rings.
Lord Elrond.
Yeah.
Yeah, the elf. The elf that was
like 50 elves running around in that movie.
when they went to the Undying Lands at the end, he was on the boat with them.
Was he the dad?
He was the one who it was Liv Tyler's dad. He didn't want her.
Yeah, he was the dad.
Yeah.
There you go.
I didn't pay attention.
But at first, it's him and the other agents. They're all programs built by the Matrix to police the Matrix. But like I said, he hates people so much, and he doesn't understand where the hate's coming from. Just like he doesn't understand how Neo can love anything. He's incapable of that because he was a program. He was just a slave created by the Matrix to do a thing. And then when he figured out that he didn't have to just do that thing, it's not like he became evil, and we paint him as the bad guy because he didn't want to do what Neo wanted to do. But if you really think about it, what Neo wanted to do was just kind of continue the cycle of the Matrix. That's a whole other podcast we could do about what the Matrix really was. I'm not going to bore Denise with that.
I was about to say, are we still on the problem?
But so, okay, that was a problem. His goal was just to delete the Matrix, delete people, and become his own thing. How he's going to do that? He can replicate himself. So he's a virus. He starts stabbing motherfuckers, turns them into viruses, and he's going to do it to everybody, everywhere, and just everything is him, which sounds like a good idea to a crazy person, which is what he was as a broken virus. I mean, obviously the consequences are Neo beats his ass again. He doesn't get to complete his objective. But if you look at how bad people are, and you look at how wrong the Matrix got everything in this creation of his programs, you can't really call him a bad guy for just saying, okay, I want to just kill both of my abusers and be done with it, which is what I think he was trying to do, and not just laugh maniacally in the rain and kill Neo as some sort of like last objective.
So when you say the consequences were that Neo beat his ass, yes. But like where, I guess for me, what you said, he's trying to delete the Matrix and in people. So that is one of the consequences. Like that'd be one of the things. Like everybody would be gone, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody.
Okay.
But if you really think about it, everybody's already kind of gone. That's a whole other thing we're not going to get into.
I was going to say, the yes and here is that in the Matrix lore, the reason that the Matrix exists is because people created the machines. The machines woke up and they were like, oh, hey, people, like, let's coexist. And the people being terrible were like, fuck you, machines. We're going to conquer you. And so the machines were like, oh, shit. All right, well, we'll just create a nice little, like, program for you and use you as batteries because you're haters.
Yeah. And like, so at first they built, so kind of just to echo Agent Smith's point, at first they built almost like a hellscape for people to torture them into obedience, and it didn't work. So like, okay, so they go the other direction. They say, okay, we're going to build out a paradise for you. And they build out the paradise, and that doesn't work. And they basically figure out that it doesn't work because people need to conquer things. So they just like, fine, we'll just fucking let it play out. conquer whatever you want to conquer. We're just going to keep you inside the Matrix and recycle this as we need to. And when Agent Smith got broken, he kind of saw everything for what it was. Yep, people are terrible. They're so bad that they couldn't accept paradise. Like they had to destroy stuff to fit inside the Matrix and not fully rebel. On the other side, I'm a slave. All these other programs are slaves. And basically, we just get marked for deletion every time this cycle continues or we need to get upgraded or something goes wrong. So he's like, well, fuck that. I'm just going to break everything, which includes the 17 motherfuckers that live in Zion and then all the machines.
Where did
Sounds
you
like I need to rewatch The
agree with
Matrix.
him?
What's up?
Mariah said she needs to go rewatch it. Clearly,
Oh.
just like you, she's seeing a whole new side to this.
Yeah.
Just like you were in the Jungle Book. But like, where does you agreeing with him come in?
Towards the end of the second movie, you start to figure out that the Oracle is a bad guy. And if you don't really dig into the Matrix, like I could do. If we had 6 more hours, I could rock for like 6 more hours on this. I know we don't. Shut the fuck up. But like once you get the idea that the architect is literally like just part of the Matrix and the Oracle is an equally abusive part of the Matrix, and you're like, what's Neo even really fighting for? And it's all just a trick to get him back to the source, which was ultimately what happens anyway, kind of, sort of. But in all the other revolutions of that cycle, when they go back to the source just kind of learns from its mistakes and builds a better world. So when I swear to God, I did not want to explain all this to you. But
we're going. We're on the ride.
But ultimately, that's where Smith comes from. He is the result of that realization of nothing matters. He is an embodiment of nihilism. He's not good or evil. He's just an end result, and that's why I don't think he's a bad guy. I'm gonna stop.
Okay.
Denise is gone.
I'm listening to every word you're saying. I genuinely do not. I've seen the movie, of course. Like you said, I'm like, this all happened in that movie. Like,
look. Everybody thinks what I just said is gibberish, but I promise you, if you go back and watch The Matrix, and you watch
Shada does it. Shada got it.
I'm with it.
Okay, awesome. If you watch The Matrix like Agent Smith is a victim, you will totally understand what I'm saying right now.
Okay.
okay. I don't know if I victim.
Who's that? Yeah.
You know what's funny? Because I'm trying to keep notes of what we're doing so that way I can remember what everybody's saying. And
No. I saw you.
Denise has no notes.
No, I wrote stuff down.
I saw you writing, and then I saw you look on like she's just making eye contact now.
Glazed over.
Everything got shorter and shorter. Like the problem was a few lines. The goal was like, okay, he was to delete the Matrix. The means replicate himself. Consequences is blank. I'm like, I got it.
Blank.
She's just underlined the Matrix a couple times.
Just circle it, little hearts next to it, little stars.
Oh my God.
A hot dog.
The elf. Oh my God, I've just been over here just writing. I don't know.
Oh man. All right.
My bad. I tried.
No, you're good.
Okay.
No, this Hennessy's fucking me up. So let me just go because I don't even know what we're talking about. I couldn't even follow anything David just said. So
go ahead.
I'm sorry. I feel like there should be like more debate about these, but I'm in agreement. Denise, David, you're right. You're just right.
Like I said, like I just assumed Shere Khan was a bad guy my entire life because he was. Well, because they said he was the bad guy, so I was like, yeah,
he was the goodest of boys. He was looking out. He was trying.
No, he was doing the work. All right.
Mariah,
Okay.
who you got?
Mariah's up.
So I picked Dexter, Morgan Dexter. Everyone seen the show?
Yes.
Yeah.
Boo.
David, did you
Yes,
see the show?
I
Okay.
did.
She said,
I guess
boo.
for
I did. say
anyone maybe listening that didn't see the show, but Dexter is a blood spatter pattern forensic scientist. He pretty much became the way he became because he saw his mother be brutally killed, and he sat in her blood for a few days. So he kind of just became a sociopath out of that, and to kind of reroute his anger and some of his urges, his adopted father and who I should say his adopted father works for the police force, so he kind of redirected him to use all of his urges to kill people who are, I guess, deemed guilty or didn't get the right justice from the criminal system. I would say, and I will say, I haven't watched the series in a while, but I just recently added The Original Sin to my watch list, so that kind of made me think of this when this topic came up. But I would say the first half of the season, it's pretty justifiable what he's doing. All the killings are, I guess, people who have done bad things. So you kind of are on his side and agree with what he's doing. And I would say to the end, I could still kind of agree. I think someone using their urges to kill people that are found guilty of doing bad things is better than him going out and just murdering innocent people. But I think halfway through, he starts to use his urges. And let me go back. He has this code. So the adopted father had him set up a personal code to make sure that he's only killing the right people. But I think, as he gets older and things in his life happen, he starts to use his urges to kill people for his own personal gain, not just about this code. So that's where he kind of loses himself. The turning point where, at least for himself to know that he is not above this moral code that he's put together, is that he does kill someone who later they find out was innocent. A photographer he believes is out killing his subjects, but ends up being the assistant. And then I think after that, he ends up killing 13 or so more people that are, I guess, innocent or would be maybe considered innocent on a surface level. I mean, he still feels maybe that they're violent, but they're not. So I guess that's the problem. The problem is that he has this, what they call his dark passenger, and his urges to kill. His goal is to kill anyone who has done something bad. His means, really by any means, I think stabbing people is his signature, but he's always injected his victims with tranquilizers. So that's kind of his signature, but really there's no wrong way. He cuts them up, throws them in the ocean. And then consequences would be killing people who are innocent. And killing those people that are innocent because he can't control his own urges. He can't, stick to his code. He wants to kill people. I guess he feels he's saving other people from someone who may be bad. There's not really any real proof that they're bad or still bad based on something they might have done in their past. So that's where he kind of loses himself. And towards the end of the season and the end of the show, he just kind of disappears. He fakes his death. And tries to live off a regular life. Looking back, I think from someone who may have been looking from the outside in on his life, what he did was bad. But when you look back to the trauma, the things, his code, which was a secret code that no one knew about, why he was doing the things that he was doing. Yeah, he was doing them for good. Whew.
Do you feel better?
Yeah, I hope so. Because
thank you for the no interruptions. I just kept.
He is a villain. He is a serial killer.
He is.
Have you seen it, David?
Dexter?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're the one that told me to watch it. You're the reason I watched it.
Oh.
And I totally get what you're saying as far as like the type of person he was killing, but he was still killing people.
Mm-hmm.
And we can't you can't just say, "Oh, you're not a bad guy because you believe you're killing people that are bad people." Because right before it was like people that would like get off on like they would murder somebody, then they wouldn't get like arrested for it or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, it's a game where Dexter says, "I'm better than the entire the whole police department and the whole justice system, and I know he did it, so I won't use my knowledge to put this person behind bars. I'll just wait and murder them because that's what I want to do." No, that makes you a murderer.
Doesn't it just make him a vigilante?
Nah, it makes him a murderer because he wants to do it. He's like, "Yo, I'm killing somebody." So, I'd rather it be somebody who should be in jail, but if it's not going to be him.
But if you think about like the way he tried, he's obviously used his not skills, I want to say, but he's like redirected. Like he's going to kill someone no matter what. He has these urges. Mm-hmm. He can't help himself. So at least he's redirected that killing towards someone who.
But then I remember he started killing people that weren't killing people.
Well, and that's where like the problem, I mean, it comes in is where it's like up to like the third or so season, like nothing happened. Like everything seems justifiable to himself. And these are all really, truly evil people. And then once he does kill someone innocent, I think that's where like the shift changes and he's kind of like struggling with like using his killing towards his own personal gain versus what he was originally, his like personal code that he was originally doing. Like, so I think like
goes rogue.
Yeah, it kind of goes rogue. He ends up killing quite a few innocent people, but I would say let me just go back and just say like the writing got really weird and it did really end bad. So I think if we're looking at like the first 3 seasons, this all kind of, I think, maybe more makes him more of a moral ambiguous character than like some like towards the later seasons.
I think you go the first 3 seasons. Like you can paint a good picture as to why he's doing it, but he's still just serial killing motherfuckers.
I still think more like vigilante. Like I'm thinking about like superheroes just
a vigilante stops crime. In my opinion, a vigilante will stop crime. A vigilante just doesn't go after the crime has been committed and murder everybody involved.
Well, superheroes, but they do like go through and like kill a bunch of thugs before the big boss battle. Usually,
most people have problems with those superheroes. You would say Punisher is like that. He kills people like he doesn't, and he kills terrible people. Yeah. And every time you see the Punisher in a scene with like what you would call real superheroes, they hate him because they're like, "Yo, you just kill everybody. You're a psychopath. We don't trust you." There's got to be a line. And if you're just going to say there is no line, then you're just as bad as everybody we're trying to stop.
Mm-hmm.
And I
think
feel like
Punisher embraces that, though. I feel like Punisher embraces that, just like Dexter does. He's like, yeah, I am kind of psychotic, and I really love my guns. So I'm just going to kill some people. They're bad people.
And that is why everybody that drives a Colorado or a Ford F-150 has a Punisher sticker on the back of it. Because he's a crazy person who just wants to kill people, and that's just a symbol for them.
Yeah. I always cringe because I'm like, he doesn't. I don't think that means what you think it does.
Right,
though.
and then even in the comics, they make it a point to put him next to every rational superhero. Like they'll put Punisher in a room with Doctor Strange, and Black Panther, and Captain America, just so they can look at him in disappointment. And like, what is wrong with you?
David, where's you're like not on camera. Can anybody else see him?
It turned off, and then it was like, "Yo, something happened." But if you turn your camera back on, it's gonna kick you out. So don't do it. So I didn't do it.
Okay.
Well, David's gone.
Well, that was mine, and my cheeks are really red.
That Hennessy.
You were drinking hot Hennessy. I said Tennessee. That was crazy.
Yeah, it was warm.
you had no ice whatsoever. It was just
None.
Hennessy in a cup.
That's true.
But we know who did have ice, Shauna.
We did.
So what did you pick?
Although I was thinking I could just top myself off without ice, but maybe that's frowned upon in this circle. Anyway.
No judgment. We listen and we don't judge. No.
Judgment.
No, hey man, drink all the hot liquor you want, man. Nobody's judging you.
Okay. So my pick for today is Evelyn Dever from The Incredibles 2. So I don't know, virtual hands up if you've seen The Incredibles 2 and know who I'm talking about, or do I need to do a whole like?
Yeah, do a whole thing.
Hands up, because I've seen it, but I don't know who that is.
I know. I was like looking. I was like, I don't remember really watching this movie, but then I was like, I remember these parts, but I probably saw it once.
I remember, but you haven't been here in forever, so please explain the whole thing.
Okay, so in The Incredibles 2, it's really a great movie, and the main villain is Screenslaver. What Screenslaver does is they have goggles that they put on people that essentially does like mind control. So one of the first like introductions that we have is Screenslaver has kind of hijacked a monorail. Elastigirl has to save the people on the monorail. She takes the goggles off the driver and she's like, why would you do that? And he's like, I have no idea what you're talking about, lady. I had goggles on. So she does like a mind control thing. Movie is set up really well, but basically Screenslaver is all just a smoke screen for Evelyn Dever, who is the sister of the like CEO of a corporation called DevTech. So Evelyn has no superpowers. She is super wealthy. She's a tech genius. Sounds like Batman. This is what I'm going with. When she was young, their backstory is that their parents started this company and some villains broke into their house, and instead of going to the safe room and saving himself and his family, the dad calls the superhero hotline. Superheroes can't come because they've just passed the Superhero Act that like put them all into hiding. So he dies and then her mother dies of a heartache. So she grows up pissed off at superheroes because they didn't answer the call. But more importantly, she is a rational person and knows that the real problem was that her dad was a freaking idiot. And why was he looking for superheroes to help him when he could have helped himself and his family? So she has a couple different problems. One of them is that like people have become way too complacent and they don't think to help themselves because superheroes exist. She literally says superheroes make us weak because they're always looking to be saved instead of doing anything about their own safety or their own actions. She's also frustrated. DevTech is a technology company, and so she's seeing people basically be like mindlessly consuming screens. So she's anti-technology in the sense that she's like, people are just consuming screens at all the time, and they've lost all critical thought. They have not a single original thought, not a critical thought. They are so passive in the world, and not only do superheroes make them weak, but it opens up a whole world where companies like DevTech can also take advantage of people and push agendas. I'm just going to break here to say, do you guys see where I'm going with this? Because this topic really triggered me in so many ways. To be honest, Denise, I was like, you should not have assigned me this topic, this homework this week. This was a choice. I was like, how can we like people need to wake up. What's going on?
I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I was gonna jump the podcast off and say we were the #1 DEI nerd podcast in the country, but I didn't want to set Shauna off, and she off anyway. So
I am so on my soapbox here. My milk crate, whatever it is. But yeah, so she's really frustrated with society's passivity. And the thing is, she the mind control goggles, the whole thing that she's trying to do is kind of like shake people and like wake them up and be like, what the fuck, man? Like you are reading, you're doom scrolling on your phone without a single critical thought about what you're being fed. You take no actions to save yourself or your society or your community. Like, wake up, people. This is insane. So yes, does she enslave people and mind control them? Yeah, and that's not great. I'm not going to say that that's great. But she does it so that when they snap out of it, because she's not doing it, her plan is never to do it like long term. Her plan is to do it in such a way that when they take the goggles off, they're like, oh God, that was really scary. I have no memory of what happened. I was totally complacent. I want my own agency back. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of her main goal. And so what happens at the end, there's a whole superhero battle, yada, yada, yada. And she gets arrested and she goes to jail and she tells Elastigirl, just because I'm arrested and going to jail doesn't mean that you're right for what you're doing and making society weak. And Elastigirl's like big comeback is like, yeah, but you're alive. And I'm like, I watched this movie the first time and I was like, I don't see any problems with what she was trying to do. So I like the movie, I like the setup, but I don't disagree with Evelyn Dever, whose name is a play on Evil Endeavor, and I take issue with that. And thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
So just to back up for a second.
Yes.
The slavery.
Yeah. You're talking about underlining words. That was the word I underlined. I know. It wasn't. Okay. Again, though, it's not like a long-term thing. She's like temporarily mind control. Oh. This kind of goes back to the Bucky conversation. I know. There's not a way to like paint that in good light, so I'm not going to try to. That's a different conversation. That's not the same. Was it?
Well, the Bucky conversation is different because
Bucky conversation was a different conversation.
Bucky didn't have a choice in what he was doing.
True. And in that situation, we were basically saying, if we were Evelyn Dever, how would we deploy Bucky? That was the framing of basically what we were talking about last time.
But Evelyn is trying to deploy an entire
She's not though. She's not. She's not trying to like enslave the population by any means. She has one guy, the pizza guy, who she has as like her shadow villain named Screenslaver, and he draws all the attention off of her. The superheroes go fight him. But and then she starts putting the goggles on the superheroes to enlighten people to the fact that these superheroes can hurt them and are not all-knowing gods that are going to swoop in and save them, that they can be hijacked.
But, and this is the only reason the superheroes act out of character is because she enslaves them and makes them do wild shit. So it's not like they were already doing it. She did it to prove a point that didn't need to be proven. It could have been proven organically, but she chose to force the issue.
Well, the thing is like you have super villains who have like superpowers who are bad, and the superheroes are combating them. But super villains and superheroes kind of like coexist in this world. But I kind of think of it more of like the Sokovia Accords, where it's like she's kind of like we cannot become complacent and put all of our trust in these superheroes without taking some accountability and responsibility for ourselves. Like we need to protect ourselves too. We need to be action items in this world. Like that's her whole thing about the like mind control. It's nobody's thinking a critical, rational thought. They are only consuming what's being fed to them. They have absolute, complete trust that the superheroes will always save them and will never go bad or never disappear again or whatever. So she's just highlighting like this is a dangerous precedent to continue to follow. Like we need to take back our own autonomy.
Right, but I hear what you're saying. My only issue with that is the slavery.
Yes, not going to try to defend that. I'm saying her whole overarching, this is the thing, their means, not great. The overarching point, I get it.
I don't know if I missed it.
Uh-huh.
There, go ahead.
You go ahead.
I was just say I don't know if I missed it, but what is it, like? What are they seeing when they put the goggles on?
They are seeing like, so she has kind of like the screen's hot like hypnosis. So she like hypnotizes them, so it's mind control, and then they kind of just do her bidding.
Got it.
The Incredibles. So Incredibles 1 and Incredibles 2, right? Because Incredibles 1, the villain had the same thing. He got slighted by a superhero.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Not because the hero like banged up his car, stole his girl, or anything like that. He kind of just like brushed him off to the side because he didn't have any powers. So it's not like it's like The Boys where I'm blowing your head off or something like that.
Well, it's a kid's show, Denise, but yes.
Yeah, it is. But it's just crazy to me that like nothing worthwhile is happening to me as a civilian from you as a superhero. But I'm going to make it my entire life's mission and work and goal to bring your entire kind down because I didn't get a handshake from you or because my dad called you when he needed help.
Syndrome's whole thing is more like, why are these people who are just genetically enhanced, like why? So his Syndrome's main thing is more like, why is the power in the hands of the few? And like, we want a more egalitarian society. Like, so he's a little bit.
I guess I'm trying to think, like, if I were in a world of superheroes, would I be like this maniacal that I'm going to, no matter what, take you down too? Or am I just, I don't know.
I don't think we have the energy. We're tired.
Like,
that's not for us.
Yeah,
that's for the young folk.
No.
That's for the young folks with the energy. That's not for us.
Yeah. David, what were you saying?
Basically, what she was saying, you wouldn't do it because you old, but like younger cats probably knock that out.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I included myself in the statement. It's you and me. We're tired.
People who could still be out at 11:30 would probably get this done. Yeah.
It really all comes down to like just classes too, because the other thing is like at the end of the film, the other undercurrent is that Violet, the daughter, is like, Evelyn's actually crazy rich though, so like she could get out of jail anytime and do this all again. And everyone's like, "Oh, you sweet girl, just let's just go have pizza or whatnot." But it's like, so it really comes back to like classism and hierarchy and all complacency and media literacy. Yeah, just you really triggered me with this one, Denise. So thanks for that.
He's like a trust fund baby with too much free time.
I didn't even pick this one.
Oh my gosh. You're right. David did this too.
Yeah, this is all David.
Set me up.
You're all welcome.
This. Because like immediately I was like, all right, let's hit this out. Like Thanos was right. Magneto was right. Like Ozymandias was right. Like those are all the big hitters. So I was trying to, but I was like, all of the other superheroes that I came up with, I was just like, no, I need like, people are just too complacent. So this one just like hit me in my bones.
My backup person was Carl Lee from A Time to Kill, but I figured everybody was on his side.
See, that one was.
So,
I didn't even see him as a villain.
Right, that's why I was like, I can't even do that because I don't think anybody saw him as a bad guy.
I didn't see Evelyn Dever as the bad guy either. The first time I watched this movie, I was confused. I was like,
nah, she's going to jail. I
mean, she is going to jail. She's gonna serve her billionaire time or whatever. But like, I just don't think she was.
Carl Lee went home, so
her philosophies.
Free Carl Lee.
Her philosophies are good. Her
free Carl Lee. You cut him loose. I love that movie.
Can't sit here and just yell up Carl Lee quotes because I want to keep going, but we can't. Oh man.
Oh boy.
So okay, we ran through some people. We had 4 problems. A kid in the jungle.
Oh God. She's gonna try to explain the maintenance, guys.
No, don't. You're good. Just say Agent Smith and just move.
I promise you, I looked at the book and I was like, what?
But I'm saying this on record. We're doing a podcast on the Matrix because there's a lot of shit I wanted to say I didn't say because I saw the 1,000-yard stare from Denise, so I didn't do it.
I really did. I was trying so hard. I don't know if it's because I worked all day. I woke up at 5 and I went to the gym. Like I'm white.
You want to watch each of them and talk about them?
I do.
Denise, here's the thing. By the time you get to the fourth one, everybody.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Listen. Listen. By the time you get to the fourth one, everyone is so pissed that they were forced to make it.
I'm gonna say right now, there's absolutely not.
It's actually kind of hilarious to watch because everyone is like, we're forced to be here and we hate this.
Why is there 4?
Because the studio forced it. The studio made them do 4. They said, hey, you're doing this. But look, we don't have to do the 4th one. We can do that. We can just do the first 3 where everybody tried.
No, but the 4th one is where it gets really funny.
Because it's not doing the first 3.
Their hate just seeds through the screen. You can't do it without doing the first one.
Why was there 3? I didn't understand. I didn't even know there was this many. I definitely knew there was a sequel.
Let's start with the first one. See how you feel.
Fine.
Thank you.
Entry level Matrix.
Oh, okay. So we had someone turned to a free thinker and decided that people were bad and had to go.
Okay, all right.
What else I could do? We have somebody that was just horrible, like hated the fact that people who were doing wrong were just walking around among us. Not just doing wrong, horrible people who did horrible things were just walking around among us and had to go. And then we had someone that thought that people were complacent and being sheeples and needed to think for themselves. So we're on a broad spectrum of problems here that our villains were out there trying to solve. I don't know. So we know that Shere Khan changed David's mind. Did anybody else think from listening to somebody's person or their villain and say, you know what? Yeah, I get it.
I'm simmering in feminine rage this whole week. So you just, they get it. Free pass.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Sean said women and animals.
At the beginning of this, I hadn't really thought about Dexter enough to classify him as someone that needed to be in prison. But that's a man that needs to be in prison.
Oh yeah. He should not be off like lumberjacking around or whatever he fucking does.
Yeah. Taking blood samples and putting them in a weird drawer in his garage. No.
That finale also, I was so mad. I was like, you just really like every hour I put into that show when the finale aired, I was like, I resent every single hour I put into this.
Mm-hmm.
You fuckers. I was so mad. Yep, straight to jail. And the writing staff.
Yeah, and it was so weird that they made his sister like in love with him, like at the end. Like that was the only way she would keep his secret. After like everything, he held such a high standard for her throughout the entire show, and then she became in love with him to like keep the secret. Like it was just a weird.
Then she dumped her body in his weird floating graveyard with all of the other fucker people that he killed. Like the disrespect.
Yeah.
And then he left his kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so, and because like part of his whole code is about family and like allegiance to his dad, etc. and so on. He goes through this whole journey about having kids and being a father and taking up the mantle and yada yada. And then he just like dumps his sister in the bay and fucks off to the Northern Territories. It's insane.
Wait, dumps what and what?
I know I didn't make it that far in the show, so I don't know what y'all talking about.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I quit on that show.
You should don't go back.
Yeah.
So he killed his sister?
No, he didn't kill her, but she was in love with him, and then she did die, and then he essentially, from what I remember, steals her body and dumps her in the bay where he dumps all of his other bodies.
Ooh.
And she was like super anti-killing the whole time. So again, it was just like the disrespect. You put her down there with all of those awful people, and also like she hated what you were doing. This is like so many levels of absolute insanity.
Mariah, I can't shoot you no bill. He sounds like a horrible person that belongs in prison. He sounds like a bad guy.
So I guess what he's asking is, you really think he was morally justified in what he was doing? That's what David's asking right now.
Seasons 1 through 3.
Seasons 1 through 3. I'm sorry. How many seasons were there?
8.
I don't know how many seasons.
8.
8.
So not even halfway through.
Well,
Did
the
you have
writing got
anybody
bad
else?
after 4 or 5. So the first 3 is all you need to watch, anyways.
You
Those
had
last
people you were
five,
trying
he
to
was out of
decide between. Who was the other person you were trying to decide between?
The ghoul from Fallout. The TV show.
That's a good one.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one I probably would have. that's the one I would have gone with.
I would have been with you the whole way on that one. Yes. Especially because his story's still unfolding, so I really want to see what happened.
Yeah, but he only really got 3 seasons to fuck up. So I mean,
3 seasons, you're good, and then you get the pass.
You got that one good one.
Then you get the pass.
That's so funny too, because I was actually one of the things I wanted to ask before we wrap up is I know with video games we have villains that we have to try to fight in video games, but a lot of times there's no backstory. You're just thrown into this world and you just have to go and attack. So sometimes it's hard to buy into this person is a villain in video games. So I didn't know if there was a video game, especially I guess David and Shauna, since you two are the video gamers, where you're like, this villain was set up so perfectly where I really do feel like he was a villain. Or this guy, they keep saying he's a villain, but I don't see it.
I've said it before. And again, I'm not going to throw spoilers out there because I really want people to play this and be just genuinely amazed at the story. Play Shadow of Colossus, and you will feel like an asshole at the end of that game.
I feel like an asshole in the beginning. I started killing people, and I was like, "Why am I killing you? You're a gorgeous being right now. Why am I killing you?" I hated it.
You will feel like a dick the entire time.
Sure did.
Yeah.
Sure did.
I really wanted to pick a video game villain, to be honest, but I couldn't think of one that I was sympathetic for.
Mm-hmm.
But Horizon Zero Dawn, the backstory is so well done. It is very good. And so you kind of like you see this you get a great picture of what led up to the events, like current events, and you're like, oh yeah, like that makes sense. I'm replaying The Witcher 3 on my PS5, like the re-edition. It's great. Like the first 2 games for The Witcher I haven't played, but basically like you have amnesia. So Denise, it's exactly like that. It feels a little bit disjointed when you're dropped into the game and you kind of learn along the way, I guess a little bit like Memento. But this one, like you have all your memories. So it kind of comes built in with other stories, and there's so much in that world going on and you learn all about it as you go. And like the other thing with video games too, though, is that there's so many mini bosses.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, like there's always like the end game boss, and like there's that. I was thinking about like the Assassin's Creed franchise too. Some of them have really good villains, but it's like it's not the big boss, it's just kind of like a side quest villain. So yeah, but if it's an end game boss, you usually get a pretty good idea of why you're out there in modern games, I would say. If you're going back to like the days of Donkey Kong, then you're like, Mario, go beat this gorilla. It's like, okay.
That's funny. That's what I was thinking of. I was like, the princess is in this castle, ready to go save her. I was like, from who? From what? What happened?
Why? Why is she there?
I'm thinking of.
Did she want to be there? Like
during that the good old pandemic, I played a decent amount of Animal Crossing. I have not played since then, so I do not remember this motherfucker's name. But I do remember that like once a week, you could go buy some art.
Red.
Did he know he was selling some fugazi shit, or
He definitely knew.
was he also a victim? Because I
Nah,
didn't want to believe he was a bad guy. He was just like, yo, pick what you want. And I'm like, okay, like if I pick some bullshit, like did we both get scammed on this deal, or
No, because you're still buying at full price.
but at his full price? Like, wait, I guess he paid less.
His full price, he paid less, and you can't do anything with it because it's fake. So you just got to eat it.
All right,
It was awful.
All right, fuck that dude. Okay, cool. Never mind. I tried to shoot him some bail too, but I guess nope. All right.
Nope. He was selling you fake art and knew it. Scammer.
Okay.
This is the thing. There's a lot of like unconvincing villains. Like even I was trying to think of like some books that I haven't really enjoyed, and it's like so like you were saying, Denise, it was like the villain wasn't set up enough for me to like really feel any animosity. So I was like, I don't know why we're really mad at this king across the sea. Like he's still across the sea. He's not invaded yet. I think he's just doing his own thing. But so sometimes they're not set up enough for me to feel empathy or be like, nah, they're right. But like, yeah, you need a solid backstory.
Absolutely do.
We know Mariah really struggles without a backstory. Mariah she needs to know the why and how we got here, or you will not get Mariah's attention.
Yep.
At least 3 episodes, at least 3 seasons.
Yeah, I need 3 seasons of backstory.
Can I like did you so the first 3 seasons got you hooked? Did you watch it religiously, or did you also fall off and then like go back and finish it later?
No, I think I binged it like years after it came out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was one of our pandemic binges.
Yeah, I think I watched it maybe before. I don't even know what year it came out.
Somebody watched every season on time, hoping it was going to get better, and it never did. And if you're out there and you're listening, you deserve.
Oh, this came out in 2006.
Yeah, it's old.
Oh
yeah.
Man.
So I don't know if you remember Crystal that we worked with for a hot minute. So she was one of those people who like threw like dinner parties for Dexter, like watch parties, themed snacks and everything. And I literally texted her at the end, and I was like, I don't know who I need to apologize. I don't know who I'm apologizing for, but I'm so sorry that you did this in real time, because I did it over like a month, and I was so pissed. If I did that over years. Yeah,
season 7, those snacks was bullshit.
I was like, oh my God. No, if you put years into that show as opposed to like the maybe 6 weeks that I did.
Yeah, season 7 was Neo and Captain's Waivers. There was no real food there.
Oh man.
That I guess like that last little bit of Dexter I tried to stomach. I was like, this is bad.
It's bad.
This is bad.
Well, speaking of watching things, are y'all watching anything interesting? Severance? I saw the new the animated Spider-Man series just dropped.
Oh, did it come out? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
I will say, I know we've talked about Silo before, and I've read the books, and Mariah and I were at the panel at Comic-Con. Silo season 1 was really great.
I haven't watched season 2 yet.
We talked about it in the group chat, Denise, but I think that's when you were like absent.
Silo 2 is a little bit more slow, but the payoff.
Is it out? I think I wanted to wait to just binge all of it. Okay.
It's
so
done.
I'm gonna watch all of it.
You can do the full run. You can do the full run.
Cool. Oh. I might wait for Severance to do that as well. I might just wait till it's all out and then watch it all.
Yeah, it's on Apple TV.
Yeah.
Oh, Mythic Quest is on Apple
TV.
You're about to say Mythic Quest is back tonight.
I'm so excited.
Severance is 2 episodes in, and it started off just as good as the last season ended. So I'm really excited about that.
Apple TV.
The new episode tonight?
No. New episode for Severance is Friday.
Yeah.
So maybe this weekend I'll watch the first 3 then. That's
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's a new episode of Mythic Quest tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, I did see that came back out.
I'm so excited. Mike and I just started watching Yellowstone. I know that we're like out from that, but that one, I'm like, why? This is one where I'm like, I think I'm supposed to feel really bad for these people, but they are genuinely terrible and making horrible choices, and I don't feel any empathy whatsoever. So,
never watched it.
Me either.
Nope.
And this was just saying she needs to watch it, so.
Yeah, Denise, if she has the same triggers as you, don't let her.
Animals?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Don't. I was about to say, Denise, you're not allowed. Like, you're not allowed to watch that show.
You're not allowed to
Good
watch
to know.
Don't do
Staying
it.
away.
Okay.
Yeah. Hard pass for Denise.
Staying away. Thank you. So.
Oh, Skeleton Crew. Did anyone else watch Skeleton Crew?
Mike was watching it.
So good.
What is that? Y'all come up with shows I've never heard of in my life.
It's on Disney Plus.
It's Star Wars.
Yes, it's
Star Wars one.
Yeah. But it's so good. Like, it's so different than anything that they've been like ever done, and like the story and the kids. I mean, it's obviously Steven Spielberg, so it has my mic. It kind of has like a Goonies vibe. It's so good. Oh my gosh, me and Eric were like waiting for each episode to come out to watch it. It's on Disney Plus though right now.
Okay.
I will say, just for the book talk plug that Mariah, you can hashtag now. I am reading Onyx Storm. I am reading the Empyrean series. I'm about halfway through Onyx Storm right now. So if y'all want more thoughts on our TikTok, go there, and I will start another.
Yeah, for however long we have TikTok.
Again.
Instagram.
We doing it?
You should post it on Instagram. So follow us on Instagram. We'll try to get that going. Cause I think if you deleted TikTok, you can't get it back. Like you can't re-download it. So
really? Ooh.
Yeah.
David did.
No. Guess who still has TikTok?
You still have it?
Your boy, yeah.
Nice.
You got it out the trash can?
I don't know. I went back and I was like, just undo, and Google said, sure, we'll undo it. And
nice.
I still got TikTok. Yeah, it's great.
Congrats.
Yeah.
I don't
want it.
Do you want to get on a soapbox of any kind, since Mariah and I have teed you up so well?
No, I'm good. Like I said, I didn't watch Skeleton Crew because I don't like watching kids act too much.
That's yeah.
So I guess I'll
when Mariah said kids, I stopped writing.
No, it's really, really good. It's really good.
Oh, I'll tell you this though. On Amazon Prime, they have old runs of MST3K, and right now they've got Manos Hands of Fate on there. So if you want to watch what is, for me, hands down the funniest MST3K, it is on Amazon Prime.
Which one is it?
Manos in the Hands of Fate.
Okay. So I need to go. I think I'm gonna watch this new Spider-Man series. Maybe Creature Commandos.
Oh,
and then we have Captain America coming out in 2 weeks?
We do. You know what was not good? Creature Commandos.
Oh, it wasn't?
No, I mean, not for me. Like no, it wasn't. I don't know what good to say about it. It was the G.I. Robot episode was good. So they went out of 8, I think. For me, maybe you'll like it.
I think Eric feels that way too, because I remember him saying that him and Marcus watched a couple of episodes, and then I never really heard anything else about it. So
that's weird, because I feel like Eric likes things. So if even Eric is like,
I'll have to ask and report back. But I never heard anything else about it. And usually I'll hear like each,
Like I watched the whole thing, and I was just like, oh, okay. There's a new season of Harley Quinn out, and that's good. That's funny.
Okay.
But Creature Commandos, I could have done without.
Okay. Oh, and David, you forgot that you're into anime now, at least one show.
Which one? Oh, Dan to Dan.
Since we're a part-time anime podcast, David found an anime that he likes.
I did.
What's it called?
Dan to Dan. I also found another one. I can't remember the name of it, but they dungeon cook-off or dungeon.
Oh, on Netflix, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good too. They go down to the dungeon and kill a bunch of shit and eat it. So that's pretty,
Yeah.
pretty fun.
Huh.
Yeah.
I think there's a new Witcher anime coming out again. Those ones are very much R-rated, so just.
Oh yeah.
That's up my alley.
When you said you started playing Witcher 3, I was like, I did too, but then like the first scene was butts, and then Helena came downstairs, so I had to turn it off. I never really got back into it.
Yeah, I play it like when Mike goes to get the girls from daycare, and when they come home, I promptly turn it off.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You would think for a video game, like you don't. Why do you need nudity there? I don't. That's
Geralt pulls. He's out there just
Wait. Hey, he
romancing his way.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
He romances his way through the continent.
I was like, what's he out there pulling?
There's a lot of little spicy scenes in that one.
All right.
Yeah. I do like it. It's good. I'm excited for Witcher 4. So
I saw that. It's what's her name? Siri?
Siri.
Yeah.
She's going to be the main protagonist. I'm very excited. I am very confused about all of the fanboys who are like, "Oh, she's the main character," because like if you played The Witcher 3, it was very obvious she was going to take over the mantle, in my opinion. So, like they're.
Denise, if you don't stop saying like you know what the fuck anybody talking about, Denise said.
Right.
Denise heard that whole shit and she like, huh.
Mariah is cracking me up right now. Yeah, that Hennessy's kicking in. We gotta get Mariah off. She got to go sit down.
Yeah, I don't know what everyone's talking about. So
I know.
All right.
She got to turn on some old school West Coast rap.
She does.
Yep. All right, Mariah.
All right.
Where can they follow us, find us?
Well, TikTok maybe. For
Yes.
some time.
We're gonna speak it into existence. Yes.
Instagram, I guess Facebook,
YouTube?
and I would just say we probably need to get more active socially. So that's a goal for 2025. Like make some more like content.
You know what's so funny?
Stream my
I used to laugh at people when they would hire like social media people because I'm like, why would you do that? And now I see it is
Yeah.
much
We
work.
definitely need to hire. I think there's a site where you pay like people wherever like really cheap and they'll like help you out.
Yep.
Like even someone to edit, like even the videos, like these videos on Riverside to go through and create clips and like that, like edit the video to put on YouTube. I would definitely need to hire somebody because I'm not doing it.
I'll throw up some of my Witcher 3 playthrough on Twitch.
Yeah. Go to follow us on Twitch.
Yep. We are on Twitch.
We have one.
Content warning for.
Yeah, we have a Twitch. It's true.
We have one. All right. Well, thank you for tuning in.
Tell us what you want us to play on Twitch. We can do that too. We do it all. We're the nerds.
I can't play booby games because I got kids, but anything else.
That's what you do after you go to sleep.
Twitch After Dark with David.
Twitch After Dark with David.
We're playing Cyberpunk. I'm showing. This is all a bunch of penises out there. So. No.
Equal opportunity nudity. I'm a fan.
Lord have mercy.
All right.
Denise is done with us.
No, nobody else did. No one else played Cyberpunk and then just made your penis as big as possible and just flopped around. Just all right, never mind.
Just you.
All right, we gotta get out of here.
It's true.
We gotta get you out of here. Yes, you gotta go. Brian's gotta go.
All right. Goodbye.
Bye.
I don't know. I guess are we gonna watch Captain America and talk about it? Is that the next thing in a couple weeks? Or no one cares about that?
I would love to hear what David has to say about Captain America.
Oh,
Let's
man.
just give.
What is it?
David
Red
the
World?
mic.
Brave New World? What is
Brave
it?
New
It is
World.
Brave New
Yeah.
World.
Yeah, Brave New World.
I'm in.
I would love nothing more.
I'm all in.
We'll reconvene at the end of the month.
I would like to watch David watch Captain America. That's what I would like to do.
I'll go. Denise, you want to go? Like,
Yeah.
I'll find a place out there, and We'll go
Okay.
there. All right.
Okay, perfect.
Bet. Cool.
All right.
Brave New
Peace out.
World
Bye.
coming at you. Bye.
Adios.
Keep it open.
Yeah, it said keep it open. I don't know what